That's one of my favorite songs. Little tidbit about Louis Armstrong. His nickname was Sashmo, given to him by his mom. But quick tidbit: he was an orphan on the streets, and a Jewish family adopted him, and he was able to speak fluent Yiddish. That's all they spoke in the household. So that's where his name Sashmo came from. That was his nickname his mom gave him. So
interesting.
But without further ado, it's time to introduce our speaker today. Our speaker is Rev Elizabeth Brown, and she was ordained at Camp Chesterfield, Indiana, which is a spiritualist camp that's over 125 years old. She has pursued her mediumship studies there and has spoken many times at spiritualist churches in Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. She was named 2009 Spiritualist of the Year by Michigan State Spiritualist Association of Churches in May of 2009. Reverend Elizabeth loves working with flower and along with her clairvoyance, and incorporates them into her messages. Reverend Elizabeth also does spirit art, dream analysis, numerology, workshops, speaking engagements at Baker College, and spiritual counseling and Reiki. She's a graduate of the Awaken Your Light Body courses by Oren and Dobbin. And Reverend Elizabeth continues to work on her mental and physical mediumistic abilities through public demonstrations of trance, galas, and platform work. It's my honor today to welcome Reverend Elizabeth Brown to the podium.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know what? Where's that angel at? It must move or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because I was over here. Where'd that go? That's my power. I wanted to speak to everyone today about the transformative power of forgiveness. And you know, I never know what I'm going to speak about. And all of a sudden it was like Kuan Yin was here this morning. I felt her. Now, Kuan Yin is an ascended master, as well as Saint Germain. And I also felt Jesus here too. So I felt their powerfulness was here because of this talk. And when I talk about them, as far as Kuan Yin and of Saint Germain, they are called Bodhisattvas. And what that means is that they have given their ascended masters, but they stay close to the earth so that they stay there until every one of us have ascended. Every one of us have gone through the trials of life, everything that we experience. So anytime that you feel down or whatever, call them, ask them for their help. They'll be right there, lickety-split, just like your guides. But they can help you, especially Kuan Yin, in the sense of transformation. And that means changing your life, getting over hurdles. And everything you said led right up to this. Did you know what I was going to talk about?
I had no
See,
clue.
he didn't. But everything, and that snake that he talked about, I read that. Thank God I didn't use it.
Wouldn't have been the first time though.
Yeah, no. But that snake, absolutely. And isn't that something, how we get so caught up that we have to get through, we have to have our way. And don't we hurt ourselves? I mean, just like that snake did, cut itself into God knows how many pieces. But what happened to it? It didn't survive. It died. And that's what happens with forgiveness. With forgiveness is our tool. It's our key to get over those problems, those humps, those things that hit us. And so many of us, we hold on to that as part of us. Oh, I'm so mad because Willis did this or that. You know, let it go. You know, that's my husband, Willis, when I say that. But doing different things, when we encounter pain or someone has done us wrong or whatever they might have done, it's not easy to get over those things. You know, I can't say, oh, just turn your cheek and go the other way. I'm not there yet. I can't say that. Sometimes it hurts a lot. And you can really tell when it's sucked itself in is because you can't quit thinking about it. It's in your mind all the time. Oh, so-and-so hurt me. They said this word to me, or they cheated me of money, or something happened. And it's stuck in here. It just keeps going around and going around. And how long does that happen? It can happen for years, that we don't let those things go. So how do we do that? How do we let these things go? Well, there's many ways that we can work about doing it. And some of them have to do with journaling, to get it out in the open. Fire, start a fire, burn paper, write out things that hurt you, put it in the fire, let it go. It all takes time, though, from that action to hit us spiritually or physically. But everything you do to get it out in the open, believe me, does help. I was thinking about Wayne Dyer, and I always talk about him because I just love his work. And Wayne Dyer, what he says in regards to forgiveness, because he had to learn that. He didn't have an easy life. His father had left him and his brothers years ago when they were little, and they lived in Mount Clemens. And his mother was trying to survive with these 3 boys, and it was very hard. So what she did is she had put 2 of the boys, that would be Wayne Dyer and his brother, into a foster care facility. And the youngest one she kept with him, or her. And as they went on, like Wayne talks about, you have to listen to his story. He talks about not being easy. He always had to protect his middle brother, the one that went there with him, because things sometimes were not right there. But as he left there, who did he not forgive? His father, who started this whole thing, broke up the family. He couldn't get rid of that. I mean, he had it for eons stuck in him. I can't forgive my dad. I don't like my dad. Went as far as saying, I hate my dad. So as life went on and he became a young man, and he went through, I think he was in the Navy, and he came back out. He was here, and he was in a college, and he was trying to write his book. And he was trying to write this book, and nothing was coming together for him. This was before he wrote any books or anything that was successful. So he was trying to write this book, about the erroneous zones. And I don't know how many here have read that, but if you have, that was one of his most successful books at the beginning. So he went to Biloxi, Mississippi, because he had heard that his father was buried out there in a grave spot. And he thought, you know what? I'm going to go up to his grave. I'm going to stomp on the dirt. I'm going to tell him what for. I'm going to throw things on it. I'm going to do everything to him. That's how much I don't like my father. Well, as spirit comes in, spirit kind of magically, because he didn't know where the gravesite was in this, like a potter's field. And he thought, well, I've got to get there. Well, spirit kind of led him there. All of a sudden, he had a little piece of paper in his pocket, and L23. What's that? And then on his belt, there was something wrote on there too that led him to that gravesite. So he got out marching like he was going to do. He said, I'm going to stomp on that dirt. I'm going to, do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to really tell him how he ruined my life. He ruined my life and my mother's and my brother's. So he walked over there, but as he got closer and closer and closer to that gravesite, all of a sudden, he wasn't as angry. It was like it was dissipating. The anger was dissipating. And he said when he walked up to that gravesite, he couldn't do what he said he was going to do. He couldn't stomp on the dirt. He couldn't spit on the ground. His heart changed. He became softer. He became lighter. And when he got to the gravesite, he broke down in tears. And he said, Dad, you did not do right, but I forgive you. I forgive you. And he said that such a burden was released from him that it was like he must have been wearing weights that were so heavy. And I was thinking of what you shared with the bottles of water that his mother had used for the ice. But it was so heavy and it was gone. It was gone. He was like a new man. Do you ever have those days that you just wake up and you go, ah, you're like Cinderella or you're like Snow White and you're just dancing with the birds? You know how that goes, and singing? That's how he felt. Of course, he wasn't dancing with the birds, but he felt relieved and he was happy. He was happy. He left there, he rented a room, and he stayed in that room for 13 days. And guess what he did? He wrote that complete book in 13 days. By releasing the anger that he had, that boulder. If you think about it, when Jesus had passed and they had that huge boulder there, but when they rolled it back, he was released. He was in the world, transformation. And Wayne Dyer said he still didn't love his dad, but he could release the anger of the things his dad did. Okay? So that's how powerful forgiveness can be for us. It doesn't matter what it is. If it keeps coming up in us and you can't get it out of your head and it just keeps swirling around you and you get madder and you wonder why your friends have left you. Why? Because you can't quit talking about it. So-and-so did this to me. Well, after a while, 2 years later, well, that's enough. And people start moving away. Is because you're not going to listen to them. What it is that what's coming out of the speaker's mouth circles, goes around, comes right back into their ears. So the more that you might be angry or upset about what someone did or didn't do, it goes out here if you speak that spoken word. And remember what that spoken word is about. We're powerful beings. And we speak out their negativity. It stays in our auric field, it floats around and it comes back in our ears, fills our body, out our mouth again. So we got a lot of work to do, don't we? All of us, including myself, got a lot of work to do to try to get that transformative forgiveness with us. We all have things. I've done things wrong. Other people have done things wrong. The hardest part is when you do something wrong and don't know about it. Then you find out years ago that someone was mad at you, but you didn't feel it other than, why don't they talk to me? So forgiveness, tool to use, one is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself first. When you forgive yourself, meaning that sometimes we have done things and we just can't rectify them immediately, but work on forgiveness of what the energy is around that so that you can move forward and let it go. Let it go. It will come back up later, but it won't have the energy that it had at the beginning because it doesn't have energy anymore. It was something that happened. It's in a storybook. If you want to open that chapter, good for you, but it won't have the emotion that you felt at the time that you kept reading that over and over again. I went through a process this week with my mentor. And in that process, that's what we did, is we looked at something in my life that I felt shame of, that I did not feel good about myself. And I asked, could we do something about this? Because I was not liking myself. So we worked through it. I saw what the object was. I got the energy, and that person I will rectify it with. I will call, go out, admit my wrong. Nobody's perfect. But if I can admit my wrong, can I get rid of it? Because once it's out, it's like, oh, we're friends again, not the same friends, because I don't know if she's forgiven me. But I will let you know later at some time if I'm invited, if it worked. So that's goal number one. Well, I got 2 people I have to talk to, different ways. But don't you all have somebody, maybe disappointed a father or did something? And it doesn't matter if they're in spirit. It doesn't matter. Do you know how many readings that I do that spirit comes through and they want you to know that they are sorry? And usually when I start out with my prayer of my reading, I always ask that the person say their name, start thinking about the people they want there to come through from spirit. And then I say, be open to the people you did not invite, but be more open to the people you would never invite. And they normally go, just like this beautiful lady here, Why do I say that? Is because our mediumship is a way of getting to forgiveness. It's a key to healing and to forgiveness. So when they laugh, I know somebody's coming through. And sure enough, they'll say something like, well, I hope that person doesn't come through. And I says, well, you have to deal with it if he does, or she. Well, when they come through, by the time everyone they love comes through first, they're ready for that person. And doesn't mean they have to forgive them at that time. Forgiveness isn't a 1, 2, 3, push the button, I'm done job. But what it is that when they listen to that person and they realize that that person is no longer that person in the living. They looked at their life. They looked at their screen when they passed to the other side and they said, uh-oh, why is this person coming up all the time? Then they realize, because I never gave that person due credit. I never told them I loved them. I never did this. I never did that. They get an opportunity. So I say, please don't make them go away. Please give them an opportunity to say one thing. You digest it later. You don't have to say you forgive them because that's your process. But they want to go further into their spiritual world. How are they going to get there unless they can unload their burdens? So it's a process. That side, this side. And that's why I always tell my grandkids and my kids, take care of it now. Take care of it now while you're living. And then you don't have to wait around for your relative to go get a reading. Maybe they're not into this. Maybe they're in a religion that this is not it. They come around you and they keep thinking, why am I thinking about my mom? Well, mom is trying to get to talk to you and you're not listening. So that's why we use mediums, so that we can get our words there. So how powerful is this forgiveness? It should be on every book. It should be everywhere. And I thought, how can we do that every day? And I was sitting here in the chair here, and I got nudged by Dr. Hillsdale, and he said, well, you say the Our Father. I said, really? So think about it. When you say the Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Forgive us this day our transgression. It's out of my mind right now. Can you finish that for me?
Forgive us trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil.
Thank you. What does that say? We were given the Our Father so that we could use that every day, simply. Evidently, I worked too good on forgiveness. But it was out of my mind, and I thank you for filling that in for me, Fran. But we could say the Our Father every day. We can take care of these things that are coming our way. And don't think that you're immune. all hits every one of us. But if you say the Our Father, what are you doing? You're praying. You could put it in your meditation. You could sing. Some people sing the Our Father so beautifully. You don't have that song, do you? Yeah. Oh, it is beautiful. Or do our Aramaic Our Father, which is the original words, the words that Jesus spoke. So we can heal. So, I was sitting here and I'm talking to Wayne Dyer and that. I said, so how can I help these people that are here today? Well, he helped me put together a little guided meditation, and I won't be too long. I know you got an agenda, and I know everybody is here for fellowship and eating. So I will be good. But if you will give me my time and yours to take you through a little healing through compassion meditation. And this is about forgiveness. Okay? So you're going to have to face some people in your minds that maybe you don't want to hear from. Okay. So I know you're all in a quiet place. And I'm going to have you not sit down, or sit down, but not lie down, but be relaxed. Feet on the floor. Take a few deep breaths in. And do 3 of them. Let it out slowly through your nose or your mouth. Breathe in again. Let it go. One more time. Allow your body and mind to settle in a state of calm. Bring to mind a situation or a person that you feel needs forgiveness. This might be someone who has caused you pain, or a situation that has left you lingering in emotions. And this person could be you yourself. Set the intention to embark on a journey of forgiveness, recognizing that this is a gift you offer yourself for healing. Inhale deeply again. Allow the breath to fill your lungs and exhale fully. Let everything out. Release any tension or negativity that these thoughts might bring. Continue with your rhythmic breathing, focusing on each breath as it brings calmness into your being. Again, breathe in and release. Envision a peaceful and safe place. It could be a beautiful garden, a serene beach, or a quiet room filled with soft light. As you visualize this space, feel a sense of security and tranquility surrounding you. Now, in your mind's eye, invite the presence of a person or situation that requires forgiveness. Allow them to join you in this safe place, understanding that this is an exploration of healing. Acknowledge and express your feelings to this presence. Talk to this presence. Talk to yourself. Share the pain, anger, or disappointment you've been carrying around. Allow these emotions to be present without any judgment, knowing that this is a part of the healing process. Now turn your attention to the person or situation. See them as a fellow human being, capable of mistakes and growth. Ask Kuan Yin to come in very close with you and extend compassion and understanding, recognizing that humanity and the shared experiences that connect us all Imagine a radiant light or a symbol of love within your heart. As you breathe in, let this light grow brighter with each inhale. With each exhale, extend this light towards the person or the situation, offering from yourself the gift of healing. As you offer forgiveness, visualize an energetic tie or negative cord between you and the person or situation dissolving. Feel a sense of liberation and freedom as a cord is cut or many cords are cut. Allow the healing light within your heart to expand and feel your entire being. Feel its warmth, transformative energy enveloping you, changing you, releasing you, letting you be whole. Take a few moments to reflect on the experience. Notice any shifts in your emotions and a sense of relief and release. Affirm your commitment to ongoing forgiveness and compassion in your life. When you're ready, slowly bring your awareness back to the present moment. Take a few grounding breaths, open your eyes, stomp your feet, carry the sense of forgiveness and compassion with you as you move forward in your journey. Okay, I'll wait till I see everyone's eyes open. Okay, so simple meditation. Sometimes we have to face people, but isn't it easier to face them in our mind?
Yeah.
But believe me, yes, if you keep working with that in your mind, just see them, golden light, let it go. You don't have to get into what happened. Golden light, let it go. Face, golden light, every day. Say the Our Father for yourself and for those who cross your path. So I say, thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to speak on things I'm working on. God bless.
God bless.